Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session. We can start chanting today. So I'll share the screen. If you have beads, you can use them. That would be the best. But if you don't, that's also fine. All right. So we can start chanting together. Everyone can unmute and we can all say Srila Prabhupada's pranam mantra. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. So later in the class we'll be doing Bhagavad Gita first today, just for today. But like later in the class I'll be explaining what this pranam mantra means very carefully, because basically what is shown about Saraswati Goswami and Chaitanya Deva, it's like the whole life story of what Srila Prabhupada did. And because it's Srila Prabhupada's special sort of birthday, you can say, we're going to be talking about Srila Prabhupada instead of Krishna, just for today. Okay, everyone can unmute and we can say it together. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. And now we'll do 27 B's of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Okay, yes. Everyone, thank you for chanting today. So we always chant Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mantra again. So we can all unmute again and we can recite this mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda, Shri
Advaita
Gadadara,
Gadadara Swati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So today, because it's a bit of a different class, because we're not doing, today is a special day which I will talk about later, but we're not going to be doing like Krishna book today. I've mentioned this on the group as well. So we're going to be doing we're going to be talking about what Srila Prabhupada did in his life. So today, because it's like a different class and like I have to prepare a little bit for that. So today we'll just be doing Bhagavad Gita first, and then I'll be giving the class on Prabhupada later. So I'll hand it over to Mataji. She can take the class. Unmute, Mama.
Okay, sorry. That was very funny. Sorry. I got very conscious. Yeah. So who cooked for Krishna? Maybe Hardik understood what I was telling. He raised his hand. Okay. Yeah. I know Hardik cooked very good. Yes. So who else? Who else? Did you prepare anything for Krishna? Or made something for Krishna? Like a toy or some decorations you help your mom. What did you do for Janmashtami? Yes. Shakti, what did you do?
Day.
Huh?
I decorate Christmas birthday.
I'm not getting you. Rohin, can you understand?
Christmas birthday.
Krishna's birthday, yeah. But what did you do?
Decorate Christmas.
Decorate Krishna? Very nice. You have a Laddu Gopal at your home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Marken.
Oh.
Sorry. Marken. So.
Oh, very nice. Nice. How do you feel now? Are you all right? Are you good?
Yes.
You're sick, no? Ah, good. All right. So who else did cook? Nikun, did you help your mom in anything? No? That's not good. Okay. Eva? Eva turned off her video. Okay, Hardik, you can tell everyone what did you do?
I made coconut laddus for Krishna. I helped my mom decorating the house for Janmashtami. I made a garland for Krishna.
Oh.
That's all. And I did and I had a performance on the cultural programs.
I saw
the
you.
temple.
I saw you there. Yes.
That's
Who
all.
participated in cultural program? Anyone? Okay. So nobody cooked anything. So this is another next week. This is the another week. I'm giving you a chance. Okay. Roasted almonds. Oh, wow. That's good, Eva. Nice. So in this week, maybe you can cook, right? Your all moms are very nice cooks. So you can learn something from them. Today, Rohin tried to roll the puris for me, for Srila Prabhupada. We took some puris, snack puris for Krishna and Prabhupada. So he just rolled. Just little help you can do. He never cooks, but today he cooked. So good. Okay, so let's go to Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so we'll start from the first picture, and you can raise your hands. We'll revise every time. We'll revise the previous verses. Okay. So by the end, you will be telling me. All of you should be able to tell. And today, new people I want. Okay. Who can tell me? Yes, Hardik, you are always there. Let's pick up some new people today. Yes, Virat. Good to see you, Virat, after a long time. Maybe last time you were not there, right?
Yeah, I wasn't here because someone came to my house.
Oh, someone came to your house. Okay, yeah, you tell me.
So this is again like how I said. This is the soul like passing through different bodies. So like someone always changes, but the soul always like stays young.
Stays young, yeah.
and stays the same.
Yes, that's very true. It stays young only. Just like Krishna, he never grew old. Like 16 years. Up to 16 years he grew, and then 125 years when he went back to Goloka. That time he was 125 years. Still he looked just like 16 years old child. Okay, that's called a child only, 16 years old. Right? So he was like child. So that's the soul. Soul is also like that. Soul is like a child. It likes to have good time, enjoy, like not enjoy, but it doesn't have any sorrows, or it's not affected by any heat or cold, or some distress or happiness, or it's not affected. It's just like you children, you seldom get you not so much sad, no? We are always happy. So soul is like that. So it changes body, sometimes humans, sometimes animals, as per when the soul is in the body. So due to this material world, no, material nature, it affects. So that's why it does some karma. The body does some karma. So as per hair karma, we get different types of bodies, but the soul inside is same, and the body changes into youth to old age to again death. So this is the cycle of the life, and but the soul is eternal. Okay, it should be just taken like we are changing the clothes every day. So in the same way, we should take this. So then we learned about Matra Sparsha Sukonteya, Shitoshna Sukha Dukkada, Agama Paino Nityastam Titikshasva Bharata. Yes. Someone else, someone new, who would I like to? Everyone is right. So see, this has no wrong answers. Okay, you can tell me. Leo, you want to try, Leo?
What?
You want to try? What does this picture mean? Can you tell?
I think it means when when you're alone you don't feel happy, but when you're together you do. Because I can tell, because one tree doesn't have any leaves and one does.
Yeah. Yes. So what happy, like tree converts from such kind of tree to leafy trees, right? It doesn't always remain like this, does it? You can see in winter time, the trees go like this, right? And then in the summer, or in springtime, now it's springtime, you can see all leaves and all beautiful flowers, right? You know? So in the same way, and then this tree again converts like this when the winter comes, right? So in the same way, what it says, that sometimes when it's like flourishing, flowering, leafing and everything, so we are happy sometimes. But sometimes we also get sadness. But that doesn't last long. Again, happy time comes. Again, sad time comes. So that is also a cycle. So one should take it just like a part of life. Okay, it's just a part of life. So you should not be worried about it or carried away by it, isn't it? Yes, Trisha, you can add. You want to add something? Hare Krishna, Trisha. You want to say something?
Does it mean that you don't always have to be happy and sometimes you can be sad?
Yes. Yes, that's okay to be sad sometimes. It's okay. But then you should not be remaining sad all the time. Okay? Because Krishna is there, right? Just like your parents are there and to wipe off your tears. So Krishna is there. He will send you the happiness also. Isn't it? So we should not get carried away by happiness. Sometimes by happiness also we get carried away. When we get good marks and we are so enthusiastic, we are so happy. And then even with the adults it happens. Even with us it happens. Like we are so happy, we don't want to again try out new things or achieve more. So it stops us at one place, right? After achieving something, we don't try to endeavor to achieve another thing. So nothing should stop you. Your sorrows shouldn't stop you. Your happiness also shouldn't stop you, isn't it? Your achievements shouldn't stop you. Yes, Hardik?
I have this story which I had when I was a kid. So I had this little teddy bear, which is my favorite, which I have since I was 1. And I was playing with it and it went on the roof. And then I got really sad. And then after some days, I found him off the roof on the floor and I was so happy.
So happy, yeah. So
Just
Krishna,
like someone
Krishna
wanted.
Krishna knows. Yes. So very good, yeah. Sometimes we don't get it even, but like Rohin lost his helicopter once somewhere. It flew on the tree and it never came back. So he still remembers, but that's okay, isn't it? The life doesn't stop. Okay. That's okay. That's Vaishnava. Okay. So 2.20. Yeah, this one. Yes, maybe. Who else would like to try? Prem, would you like to try?
So this is like the soul is very small and it stays the same size.
Yeah. And there is a shape, right? There is a form of a soul.
Yeah.
So what does it mean? So because it has human form, it is going to be a human person, like human person. But
Yeah.
if it has a dog shape, it will turn out into a dog, right? Mhm. So, so the body we get is as per our soul is taking its form in the beginning. Like as per our karma, if we are experts in quarreling or shouting, then we might get the next body like a dog who always barks. So because we are creating our soul in that form slowly. So, but the soul remains the same. Again, what does this particular shloka means is na jayate mriyate. The body dies, but the soul doesn't die. न जायते मृत्यते, जन्म नहीं होता, मृत्यु नहीं होता सोल का. ठीक है. तो नायम भूत्वा भविता न वा न भूय means it has never born, and it will never die also. Okay. It is eternal, means it is ever existing, it is always there, and it is the only truth, shashwat. Okay. Na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So it can never be cut into pieces. It can never be killed. Soul can never be killed. But the body can be killed or burnt, or we can get hurt. But the soul, it can never die. It just changes the bodies. Okay. So this is what it means. Yes, Trisha, you can tell.
Is it how the body passes on?
Yes, the body pass away. Yes, just like it gets old. Our great grandparents also like died, right? So the body passes away, but the soul, it flies away from the body when the body perishes. So the soul can't stay in that body. So because it's always happy, it's always peaceful, nice. It doesn't like the distress. Soul is very nice. So it doesn't like to get perish, and so that's why it just flies away and it goes into another body. Okay. So it is unaffected by our birth or death. Soul is not affected. So what we call as me is actually the soul, not the body. So that's why you call it like I am Trisha, you might say, right? But you are actually not Trisha, you are the soul, isn't it? Mm. So in that way, we should not have any external things, like somebody might say good about you, somebody might say bad about you. So we should not feel, because we are on the bodily, we are not on this bodily platform, we are on the soul platform. If we know we are soul, we'll never get hurt. Okay. So then we learned, this is very beautiful shloka, I love this. What did he do? Yagnarthat karmana netra lokoyam karma bandhana tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. What does it mean, this picture? Yeah. Just few guesses I want. Or actually, if you know. Yes, Trisha? And 3 others. Wait. Let me check who are those. Yes, you can tell.
If you think about, like, they're working hard at the bottom and they're only thinking about money.
Yeah.
So they won't get that money.
Yeah.
But if you think about at the top, if they're thinking about Krishna,
Yeah. Yes.
they will, if they do things to Krishna, then Krishna will give you something in return.
So nice. Very good. Excellent. Yes. Yes, Prem, now you can tell.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Virat, you raised your hand.
Me?
Yes, Virat, you also raised your hand, isn't it? No, Vrinda was here. Yes. Sorry, Virat. Yes, Vrinda, you can tell.
Like some people like believe in like the God, and some people like are thinking about money. They don't. Wait.
Yeah. Okay. And Leo?
The people at the bottom are only thinking about money, but the farmer at the top is thinking about Krishna.
Yes.
So he's working for like Krishna. He's like working for cows. But
Yeah.
the people at the bottom are just working for money. They have nothing in their mind. They're just thinking about money.
Yeah. So can you see this? Are they happy? They are crying. They are perspiring or crying maybe. And this smile is so big, so nice. This smile, she's also smiling. See? Very happy, composed. So when you think of Krishna, it said Yagnarthat Karmana. Who is Yagna Purush? Yagna Purush is Krishna. Yagna means the sacrifice. If you sacrifice for Krishna, all your work, if you give to Krishna, then you're always happy. Okay, yeah, I have to do this job. I have to bring the beans from outside. Yes, I'll do it for because my mom has asked me to do it, right? Because this is Krishna's home, I can clean it. I can do everything for Krishna. Okay. I can cook for Krishna. Okay. And I can study for Krishna so that if I study well, then I can explain others Bhagavad Gita. Okay. So that's why we should study also. Because if you are not studying so nicely, then people will think, yeah, he doesn't know anything, maybe. So they will not listen to you. So if you want to convince your classmates, like you learn these things, you learn about Krishna consciousness, you don't eat meat, you want to tell someone, then first you yourself have to be Krishna conscious. It's called Krishna consciousness. In his mind, he's thinking about Krishna. That is called Krishna consciousness. Right? In your consciousness, you are always thinking about Krishna. So then you become happy also, because Krishna is happy, you are happy. In your soul, there is Krishna, right? As a Paramatma. So he becomes happy, you are also happy. And also, you're not bound by karmas. Main thing is that. Yeah. Trisha, you want to say something still? Okay. So you are not bound by your karmas also, because Krishna consciousness activities are akarma. So it doesn't bound you. It doesn't bind you, because you are giving all the things to Krishna. If you are working for your boss, then your boss has to work for you someday. If you are working for your like parents are working for the kids, their kids have to become their parents in their next life. So this is the cycle of karma. But if the parents are teaching the children Krishna consciousness, and they are bringing up Krishna conscious children, then the children doesn't have to return to the parents. Do you understand? Everything has action, all the action has reaction. But only Krishna consciousness, because you are giving all your actions to Krishna, that the opposite person doesn't have to return you, right? If you feed someone, then that person has to ask you to come to their home to eat again, because that's because he feels like that, no? Because he has eaten at your home, he will ask you, okay, yeah, now you come to my home, I will have to feed you, right? But if you give someone prasad, like Krishna prasad, whatever is offered to Krishna, if you give it to them, that person doesn't need to ask you to come to their home. Or if some in India we get a lot of beggars and those people, no, needy people. If we feed them prasadam, that needy people doesn't need to again feed you back, because you are giving them prasad. So that's a missed charity. Okay, let's go to next. So this we learned last time, and we didn't see this picture last time. Sorry for that. So here we learned that I'll read the translation quickly because we are running out of time. So it says, the devotees of Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat the food which is offered first to sacrifice, for sacrifice. Others who prepare food for personal sense enjoyment verily eat only sin. So the people who are preparing for themselves, some people love so spicy food, they'll say, okay, I'm putting all the chili for myself and I'll eat. I'll make my separate food. But then you can't offer that chili wala food to Krishna, right? So for Krishna, you have to offer normal food. So then that food is not offered to Krishna. So that person is eating only for his sense enjoyment because he loves, because he doesn't think of Krishna that time. So that is sinful. Also, the meat eating is also sinful because we can't offer meat to Krishna. And similar to meat is even if we extend the meat, then there comes onion garlic. So it is next to that, but it's not that bad. Onion garlic is vegetable only, so you can still eat. But we can't offer onion garlic to Krishna. So whenever you are offering to Krishna, make sure there is no onion, no garlic. Okay, always be very careful about this thing. But then what happens if your mom or dad is making onion garlic food with onion and garlic, and if you are not offering to Krishna, then you are eating for your own sense enjoyment, right? Because you cannot offer onion garlic food to Krishna. So that's why we should come, at least as we are devotees, we should come to a point that we don't put onion and garlic in our dishes and we offer everything to Krishna. Okay, try to convince your parents or ask them to talk to me. Okay, so this is what the picture shows. This lady, and maybe the description is written at the bottom. In the top picture, people are eating and distributing food that has been offered first to Krishna as a sacrifice. So in this picture, see this Vaishnava, there is the tilak. So he's there, just like we eat at temple. They are eating, and also this needy person has come. They are distributing prasadam to him. So they are doing a good charity. They are giving Krishna prasad, and they are distributing Krishna prasad and eating. So but this in the bottom picture, the people are cooking and eating for their own pleasure. Of course, they are because they are eating meat. You can see here. So when they are cooking meat, there are fish also, meat also. They are cooking that, but they can't offer to Krishna because they don't have that consciousness also to offer to Krishna, because in that they are not in that bhava. So they forget Krishna. When you are in Maya, when you want to kill the animals, So you can never remember Krishna. Krishna will not inspire you to remember him. So they are cooking for themselves. And that's why their faces are also a bit ghastly. See, their faces are also very weird. If you see a Vaishnava, they are very beautiful in feature. Okay, but if you see the meat eaters, they look like a pig sometimes. Right? Whatever you eat, you look like that. You start looking like that. So you have to be very careful. Yes, Eva? Eva, you want to say something? Okay, so this says that. Okay, now we'll quickly read the explanation. Because the devotees of Krishna love him, they never accept anything without first offering it to him. By different types of yagna or sacrifice, such as hearing, chanting, and remembering, they are protected from the sinful influence of material world and become happy. Those people who eat food for their own pleasure and do not offer it first to Krishna are thieves, because everything belongs to Krishna and is meant for his pleasure, right? So everything, all the things, whatever we get in this material world is made by Krishna. There is nothing there which is not made by Krishna. So everything is made by Krishna. So we should understand this. And they also are eating all kinds of sins, since they are killing so many living entities for their food. One cannot be happy if he is sinful. So because we are not offering to Krishna, then we might become sinful. So that's how this animal killing and everything comes into picture slowly. If we stop offering to Krishna, okay. So this is what is said, and because we are running out of time, we'll quickly move forward to shloka number 10.10 today. But we had to learn a new shloka today, right? I'll teach you in 2 minutes this shloka, and 3 minutes we'll take for 10.10. Okay, the new shloka today. Okay, somebody can repeat after me. Evam parampara praptim.
Evam parampara praptam.
Imam rajashayo vidu.
Imam rajashayo vidu.
Sakale neha mahata.
Sakale
mahata.
Yogo nastha parantapa.
Yogo nasta parantapa.
Very nice. So it says, this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession. Which supreme science? This is book of Bhagavad Gita. So this supreme science means the science of Bhagavad Gita was thus received. It was received from someone. Okay, we learn from whom. Was thus received through disciplic succession, or through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. So saintly kings means the olden, in the very olden time, the kings used to understand the Bhagavad Gita in disciplic succession. Means I give it to my son gives it to his son gives it to his son, or my guru gives it to me, I give it to my disciples give it to them, right? Another people. So that's called disciplic succession, disciples, right? So there are some saintly kings also in the previous time, just like we have Narendra Modi. He is a bit saintly, right? So in the previous ages, there were only such kind of kings. So they understood in disciplic succession. But in course of time, the succession was broken. But then some children are not that good, right? So they might not follow. So whatever I have taught my son, then it will not go ahead, right? So that happened. So, and therefore the science as it appears to be lost. So then this Bhagavad Gita was being lost for some time. Okay, so what happened, that we will learn in the next time. So this is in short, this shloka says, we learn, and there is some more to say in this shloka, but we are running out of time. So there was some guru shishya and like a parampara it is called, like guru and disciple, right? So teacher and disciple, teacher asked to his student to follow. Here you can see a teacher, right? And these are his students, and he's telling them something, right? And then when they understand the philosophy, they are going to preach to another people, right? So then they will preach another people. But there are some time like now we are teaching here Bhagavad Gita, right? But sometime it might happen that no one comes, and then it is suddenly stopped. So who will take it to next generation? It's very difficult, right? So in the same way, it was like little bit stopped in the middle, and then again Krishna told it to Arjuna, and then it again started. So now we are getting the Bhagavad Gita knowledge again. So who are the previous people that we learn in the next class? But see, and here it is shown that there are some bogus gurus, like who don't know about Bhagavad Gita or anything. They are just telling their own philosophy. But these people, they are not understanding properly. That's why they are in misery, you can see here. So so that's why we should always go through the authorized religion. Like whatever comes from Krishna is authorized. But if it is not coming from Krishna and somebody is telling his own things, then it's not a disciplic succession. It's his own philosophy. Okay, so it's a bit higher topic. Okay, so maybe I'll stop it here only. We'll learn 10.10. I have to teach Rohin. I'll teach first 10.10 so that they can start learning. Okay. So this month we are learning 10.10 shloka, and you have to memorize this. Okay, so all of you can repeat after me, whoever is there. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Yuktanam
Tesham satiti yuktayam bhajatam pritipurvayam
dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. One more time. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Okay, the translation is, you can repeat after me. To those
To those
constantly devoted
who are constantly devoted
to serving me with love,
to serving
me with love,
I give the understanding
I give the understanding
by which
by which
they can come to me.
they can come to me.
Very nice. So to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So if you are serving Krishna with love, like we saw in that picture, right? Yagnarthat karmanandratira, in that sloka, we saw that person was plowing the land. He was thinking continuously of Krishna. He was Krishna conscious. One lady was worshipping Radha Krishna. She was thinking of Krishna. So if we are serving constantly Krishna, then Krishna gives us intelligence. What kind of intelligence? By which we can go back to Krishna. We have all come from Krishna, right? And we can go back to Krishna. There are like we can go to another animal body also. Like we are souls, right? We can go somewhere else also. Like in any of the 8.4 million species. But there is chance that we can go back to Godhead. In this human life only this chance is given. Okay, so very rare. Human life is very rare. After 8.4 million lives, we get human body. So if we endeavor and try in this life to serve Krishna and Vaishnavas, to the devotees we serve, then and we remain always in Krishna consciousness, then we can go back to Krishna again. Isn't it very good? Very nice, isn't it? To go with Krishna forever and you to just serve Krishna in the Goloka. So this is the understanding. And next time, maybe if we get time, I'll show you a nice video or a story of Punthanam. There was a nice devotee. So today we don't have time. Next time we'll do. Okay. Hare Krishna. Over to Rohini.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Do you have any questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Any questions? Okay. Yeah, over to Rohit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Rohit, you can spotlight yourself.
काफी जल्दी खत्म करते हैं.
Okay, so we'll get started today on our special topic. Because does anyone know what the significance of today is? Yes. I think you're Lila, right, Rubina?
Yeah, it's Srila Prabhupada's birthday.
Yeah. So yes, you're right. It's Srila Prabhupada's birthday. So because it's such a special day, it's called Vyas Puja, Srila Prabhupada Vyas Puja, because Vyasadeva, it's a long story, but like Vyasadeva is the incarnation of God, and Srila Prabhupada is the representative of Vyasadeva. So that's why we call any spiritual master or guru, basically. So any guru's birthday in the ISKCON we call Vyas Puja. All right, so today we'll learn about Srila Prabhupada, the magic man himself. So the magic man himself is actually I didn't make that up. That's actually from one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples wrote that about him once. Okay, so why should we learn about Srila Prabhupada? It's because we are all in ISKCON, and he is our founder Acharya. So founder Acharya, I told a few weeks ago, I said that like founder means that he started ISKCON. He didn't start like Hare Krishna movement. That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He just started ISKCON. And then Acharya means spiritual teacher, or basically the person who everyone follows. So we also learn about Srila Prabhupada to understand his teachings and instructions so that we can follow them and then implement in our lives, and to show our gratefulness unto him. It's also because he spread the holy name of Krishna everywhere. Like in Australia, like you can imagine, no one, like, how can people know who Krishna is? It's because of Srila Prabhupada. Because in Australia, like, no one knows who Krishna is, but sometimes, like, we go out and we say like, oh, you know Krishna, and they say, yeah, we know Krishna. So yeah, he was the person who did that. Even my optometrist, not my optometrist exactly, but where I get my glasses from, the lady at the counter asked once, where is your temple? And then she said, and we said, do you know Hare Krishna? And then she said, yes, I know the Hare Krishna people. They always did kirtan in Random Mall when I was a teenager. So she was a very old lady, and that must have been in like the 1970s, because our Adelaide temple was in like Frome Road that time. It moved around a little bit after that. So based on Srila Prabhupada's life, we can learn how to live our lives for Krishna satisfaction, because everything he did was for Krishna satisfaction. Okay, so we will learn about Srila Prabhupada's appearance. Someone can read this first. I think Prem, you can read the first dot point here.
Yeah. Srila Prabhupada took his birth on 1st September 1896 on Nadosava.
Nandasov. So yeah, just keep going. Yeah.
His parents were Gaur Mohan and Rajani De. They named him Abhay Charan De.
Yes. So some of the words in this, because Srila Prabhupada's, some of the words are going to be very difficult. Yeah. So it's more harder to read than a Krishna booklet normally. So Nandotsav, we saw that the day after Krishna was born, right? He went to Nanda Maharaj's house, and then Nanda Maharaj had a big celebration for the birth of Krishna the next day. So that's what Nandotsav is. So Janmashtami is the first day, and then the second day is Nandotsav. And Srila Prabhupada was born on the second day. And this is the house where he was born in. So this place, he was born in this small, very small area. He was also born under a tree. Maybe this might be the tree, I'm not too sure. I had a picture of the tree before, but it's gone somewhere now. So that tree, sadly, it died a few months ago, I think. So they distributed the seeds of that tree into like a lot of ISKCON temples worldwide to plant. An astrologer did a horoscope for the child, and the family was made jubilant by the auspicious reading. The astrologer made a specific prediction. When this child reached the age of 70, he would cross the ocean, become a great exponent of religion, and open 108 temples. So astrologer is basically someone who like says that this person is going to do this. Some people are like destined to be a very good businessman. Some people are destined to be an athlete or a sports person or something. But Srila Prabhupada was destined to preach our religion, our Krishna consciousness movement worldwide. And so many, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did say that soon my Senapati Bhakta, he used that word. So Senapati Bhakta means like basically like army person, army like devotee. He will come, and my best soldier, he will come and he will spread the word of Krishna around the whole world. So that's what great exponent of religion was. And he would do this when he reached the age of 70. I don't know about your grandparents, but my grandparents are 70 years old. I can't even imagine them going to America. They won't be able to do that, because in the 70s your health is very bad when you're that old. But still, Srila Prabhupada, even though he suffered from so many heart attacks, he could preach Krishna consciousness because Krishna gave him the power. And also he would establish 108 temples. So, all these big temples, Vrindavan, Mayapur, and New York was the first one. So these temples are all built by Srila Prabhupada, 108 temples in ISKCON. And now there's, I think, like 600, 700-ish temples in ISKCON, but when Srila Prabhupada was here in this world, he established 108 temples. Someone can read this next one about the first meeting with Bhaktisiddhanta. Yes, Virat, you can read, yeah. Just the first stop point.
Okay. Abhay finished school and got married to Radharani Datta.
So Radharani Datta was the name of his wife. Okay, and then so he finished school, he started doing university studies, then he got married to Radharani Datta. One day his friend Narendranath Mullik asked Abhay to meet a sadhu. Abhay was hesitant but agreed to go. So as I was saying, very difficult words there, which is why I'm not getting all of you to read this at the moment. So Narendranath Mullik was his friend, and he told Abhay that there is this one very great sadhu, you have to see him. And then Srila Prabhupada, he had seen so many sadhus in his life, he was like, yeah, but like they're not genuine, you know, they're not like some sadhus, they just say that they're doing lots of bhakti, but they don't actually do it. Like fake sadhus and stuff. So Srila Prabhupada thought that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, if I'll explain who that is. So he thought that he was the same person. So but eventually he agreed to go. So there a sannyasi named Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada was lecturing. Upon seeing Abhay, he remarked, "You are educated young men. Why don't you preach Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's message throughout the whole world?" So if you see this picture here, this is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, and this is Srila Prabhupada. He has a mustache and all that. And then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati looks like shaven-headed, and then wearing glasses, and he was a very scholarly person, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. So he was a sannyasi, and this is Srila Prabhupada. Can you imagine Srila Prabhupada like this? He looked very different at that time. So as soon as he saw Srila Prabhupada, as soon as he saw, like, he wasn't named Srila Prabhupada then, he was named Abhay. So as soon as he saw Abhay, he realized that this is the person who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, and this is my Senapati, like my Senapati Bhakta will come and he will distribute the holy name to the whole world. This is that person. He could see that in Abhay. So he told Abhay that you do this. He immediately, like, Prabhupada hadn't even got up here. He offered his obeisances to him. He was getting up, and as soon as he was like, while he was getting up, that is when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said that you go and do this. So in the Guru Vandana, which we recite every day in front of the Guru, there was a small, like, there's a phrase, just remember what it was. Yes, Guru Padma Vakya Jitite Koriya Hakya. So that means that whatever my Guru says, I will, like, that is going to be my heart. I remember that forever. So Srila Prabhupada did just that. He remembered this teaching, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati were telling him go to the West, and he took that to, like, he did that when he was later, like 43 years later, you will see that he does that. So this happened in 1922, okay? And then in 1933, he took formal initiation, which is what is told here. Because he was so inspired that he took, like, initiation. If you know, it's when you, like, accept a guru, basically. Like, you are my guru, and then he starts guiding you throughout your life. So that happened 11 years later, in 1933. So it wasn't like 1 year or 2 years, like sometimes now people take initiative very quickly and then immediately they fall down. It wasn't like that. He like waited a very long time and then he took initiation. And when you take initiation, your name is changed slightly, like not fully sometimes, but slightly, to give a spiritual name so it reminds other people of Krishna as well. So his name was changed into from Abhecharan to Abhecharanaravinda, which basically means fearless, having taken shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. So because he was surrendered to Krishna, he wasn't scared of anything. That's basically what it means. Abhay stayed in touch with Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati and the Gaudiya Math throughout his Grahastha life. Due to his wonderful knowledge, he was given the title Bhaktivedanta. So the Gaudiya Math is basically ISKCON, but instead of Prabhupada establishing it, this is what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati established. He established the Gaudiya Math. And because like Srila Prabhupada, he used to write these books, even when he was like, he hadn't like gone to the West or anything, but he started writing before he went to America. So he was like very good in writing. So everyone in the Gaudiya Math, they gave him the title Bhaktivedanta. I'm sorry. Whoops. Yeah. So one day while working on Bhagavad Gita, Abhay learned what his wife had sold it in exchange for tea biscuits. So he started translating Bhagavad Gita and he started to like write purports on it and stuff. Like we're getting Bhagavad Gita as it is right now. He wrote that. But one day he came back from work. He was a pharmacist. He was a businessman. Okay, he was a businessman in a pharmacy. He had his own business and he was going all over India selling his products. And then he came back and then he realized that in order to get tea biscuits, his wife had sold the manuscript, because what they did in those days was they weighed what you wanted to get and then what you wanted to have. So like they weighed the tea biscuits and then the manuscript and they were the same weight, and so she sold it like that. And his wife had been a bit like non-cooperative when he was doing all his studies or like religious activities. She was a bit uncooperative. So he didn't really like that. He wanted to do his bhakti. So he just left her. He not like divorced, because he still gave her money and all, even after Srila Prabhupada like passed away. He still like from Srila Prabhupada's bank account, I think it was 1,000 rupees or something. It would always, that much per month would go to Srila Prabhupada's family. So he never like abandoned her. He just stopped living with her. So he went to Vrindavan, where he stayed at the Radha Damodar Mandir, which is a very old mandir. And then, so he was living in Vrindavan, he was writing his books and everything. And people weren't really treating him with much respect. Like he would go out, try to sell his books, but because he was just a normal, like, grahastha type person, no one would like think that he was a very big devotee or anything. So one day in a dream, he saw Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, okay? This person, his Guru Maharaj. He came in a dream and he said that now you have to take sannyas. So his Guru Maharaj told him in a dream, take sannyas. So sannyasa is when you like get your like orange saffron clothes. So and you get the stick as well, so you're renounced. Basically, you're like, you don't really care about the material world anymore. So you don't have to like memorize all of this because it's a little bit tricky to understand. But that's what he did on September 17, 1959. Then he was named sannyasis, the name Swami at the end. So then he was named AC, as for like Abhicharanaravinda, which is what we read here. That's AC. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So what we read now, AC Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, he was now named AC Bhaktivedanta Swami. Prabhupada was still later. He was given that later by his disciples. So Bhaktivedanta Swami departed to America to fulfill his spiritual master's dream in 1965 on a cargo ship called the Jaladuta. He suffered terrible seasickness and 2 heart attacks before reaching New York. So you know how I was saying that he would fulfill his spiritual master's mission 43 years later? This is what I was talking about. Like 1922, his Guru Maharaj told him, go to the Western countries and spread Krishna consciousness. And then he remembered that, and he kept that instruction within his heart. And then finally, in 1965, he left to America. But you know, it was a cargo ship, and the voyage is not always smooth. He was 69 years old at the time, and while he was on the boat, he suffered a lot of he suffered 2 heart attacks in 2 days. And he also had terrible dizziness, headaches, and seasickness and everything. So it was just Krishna's mercy that he lived. Otherwise, he thought that he would. He even writes in his diary. You can read his diary, Jaladuta diary, about when he while he was traveling. He writes that I thought I was gonna die. Then of course in New York he went to after struggling almost a year in Butler and New York, Bhaktivedanta Swami incorporated ISKCON in July of 1966. So he was after reaching America, he had a sponsor, he had a guest who had lived in. So he was living at 2 people, like a couple's house, a family's house in a small town in Pennsylvania, which is a state in America. So after living for a while in there, he moved to New York, but he hardly knew anyone. He knew he knew a few contacts. I think he only knew one actually. He knew one Dr. Mishra person, if you read more precisely, but basically he was almost homeless. So he barely managed to find a house, and he was struggling a lot. And in 1966, in terms of history, it's like people were going really, really drunk and everything. They were doing all sorts of bad things. So at this time, this is when he went and he tried to give them Hare Krishna mantra, and he sang in the parks and stuff. And slowly, a few people started getting attracted to him, and they rented out a place for him, which is this photo you can see up here. Is the first ISKCON temple. It was just a small storefront, in the city you sometimes go and there's restaurants on the street. That's how big it was. It wasn't very big. So this is the first ISKCON temple, and this is where he founded ISKCON in July. So he moved into his temple. He moved into this temple on July 1st, and then he founded it, ISKCON on a few days later only. It didn't take very long to found ISKCON. Does anyone know actually what ISKCON stands for? What does this con stand for? Does anyone know?
Rohin. Hare Krishna, Rohin. We are running out of time. Maybe you can take that later, next time, because people might.
I have only one more slide after this, so I'll quickly share it. ISKCON stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Okay, so I is International, S Society, K Krishna, and then CON is consciousness. So international. It was only in New York at the time, but he named it international because he knew that I will be able to establish all these temples around the world. So he established as International Society, not New York Society for Krishna Consciousness. From his early temples, the Hare Krishna movement spread worldwide, and Hare Krishna became a household word. So, household word means that everyone in all the countries knew what Hare Krishna was. So there's a lot of movies as well. The Beatles were a rock band who really helped in London and stuff. A lot of things happened during that time. Even Prabhupada suffered a lot during that time as well. So we're running a bit out of time, and I kind of knew this would happen, so I kind of ended it shortly. But basically, he spread the movement worldwide with the help of some of his disciples. So after he started getting some followers, some disciples, he went to different cities. First went to San Francisco, then to he went back to India, and then he came to Boston and other places in America, and then he established in London, and then India, and then he sent some of his disciples to other countries like Australia and Africa and stuff. So that's how he established all his centers. It was mainly through his disciples. Or there's some temples like Bombay, he had lots of troubles making, because Bombay, the Juhu temple in Bombay especially, that one was, there's a long story behind that temple actually. And I also have to mention one very important thing, why he was named Srila Prabhupada. So it was in May of 1968. So this was in 1966, which is why I'm titled Bhaktivedanta Swami, because he wasn't known as Prabhupada at the time. In 1968, his disciple realized, because they were calling him Swamiji, Swami and then Ji. So they're saying, Swamiji, why do we call you Swamiji? And then he would say, Ji is a class of respect. So one Prabhu, one disciple, he wanted to tell his wife was named Govinda Dasi. So he wanted to call her Govindaji, because she was named Govinda. Initiated name, by the way. She was American, but then, when you get initiated, you get a new name, like Krishna's. So she was named Govinda, and he wanted to name her Govindaji, but Prabhupada said that actually G is a third class form of respect. So he said it's best not to call her that. And then he thought that, all right, maybe. So then why are we calling you Swami Ji? Because if Ji is a third class form of respect, then we shouldn't be calling you Ji. We should be calling you the first class form of respect. So then they asked him, what should we call you? So he said, you can call me Guru Dev or Guru Maharaj. And he was very humble. He didn't want to be called anything great or anything. But in the end, he finally gave in and he said, the best is to call me Prabhupada. Prabhupada means the one who all the great people fall at the feet of. So everyone surrenders unto this person. That's what Prabhupada means. So if you saw here, his spiritual master was also called Prabhupada because his title is not a person, it's a title. And Rupa Goswami, if you know, he was also called Prabhupada. So that's how Prabhupada's name was found. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity on his holy Vyas Puja day to tell you all about Srila Prabhupada's. Hare Krishna, we've gone over time.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anyone have any questions?
Hare Krishna, Rohit.
Hare
All right.
Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. You don't have to memorize all this, by the way, just for your background knowledge of what he did. It's not going to be asked in a quiz.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.